Rick, man, it's so good to see you,
Hey,
man.
nice
Hey,
to see you.
yeah, my friend Fiona, just a side note, my friend Fiona's daughter is an artist and she's in med, she's going to be a doctor. And so she just created this thing for me. So at Mayo, we have this thing called JAM, which stands for Joy at Mayo. And
Oh.
she's an incredible artist. My friend Fiona just went to go see her daughter recently. And so she made this for me. And it's, yeah, and which stands for Jam at Mayo. And so
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So it's
Nice.
really awesome. And she says, Keith, thanks for spreading joy.
Hey, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So what I want to think about, and that's kind of a nice little intro into the title of this podcast, which is working on yourself creates space for beautiful opportunities and experiences. I've had so much incredible goodness in my life, man, when I think about it. And that goodness has not been without some work on myself. I argue that the, the goodness is a result of working on myself, and the continued goodness and um, the richness of each new opportunity, each new experience is completely a product, a byproduct of me working on myself. And what I mean by that is at any time, the great things just within the last year or two that have happened in ToBeRe, that have happened at Mayo Clinic, in my personal lives, with my friendships, at any time had I made a different choice, and that choice being not to work on myself, but to continue to be at the effect of my ego, the personal mind, in the form of making people wrong, complaining, seeing other people as enemies, seeing the present moment and how life shows up as a something that was wrong and shouldn't be happening. Anytime had I taken made that choice to be connected and behave along that path, none of the opportunities that were waiting on the other side of making a different choice would have been there for me. But instead, by saying that this person is saying this, it hit my stuff. I don't need the person to change or to apologize or to behave differently in the future. I need to work on me first by being able to handle that, to let go of being injured or hurt or taking those things personally. So you don't like people of color. No problem. That's your path. That's cool. I still see the humanity in you. I still love you. Like making that choice. Something happens at work and somebody else gets the job. You know what? Other people can play in the sandbox. It doesn't just have to be me. I want more people spreading joy and doing this. There's a gym that opened up next to us at ToBeRe at the other location. And so I remember my stuff being hit, like close your heart to this. They're bringing in new equipment, doing the floors and all this other stuff. I could have made that an enemy. No, we need more fitness. Like, yeah, come on in. Like, we welcome you here. Can I help you, set up equipment? Whatever the case may be, like work on yourself. Don't make other people or life the enemy. Work on yourself at any point. I've not done that, Rick. When we were told that, hey, your rent, if you want to stay in this space, is going to double, if I would have said, well, we're not even going to even entertain or explore other opportunities, we wouldn't be in this new space continuing to allow the community to grow and to give to each of us. Had I made a choice about life being unfair or this situation not being me being shortchanged, had any of that happened along the way, and I really went down that rabbit hole or hitched my wagon to that narrative, Rick, I would not have been experiencing these beautiful opportunities, having these rich, incredible adventures had I not worked on myself along the way. So I learned, and I think I told you this, I adopted this years ago, that everything that my mind says shouldn't be happening was a problem. I want to see that again so I can work on myself. Like, keep what? I can't hit a fastball? Keep pitching it. I'm going to keep taking cuts at it. Oh, you think you're going to get me on the curve? Okay, that's my work, is to work on the curve. Once I master the fastball, I need to see the curve. I want to see that one too, so I can work on that. And everything that happened to me, and I'm sure that will continue to happen, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. It's an opportunity to grow, to get better, to work on myself. And Rick, it's been just beautiful, man. The goodness that I have experienced in the last year alone would not have been possible if I hadn't worked on myself, if I hadn't saw that as an opportunity for me, not for others to change, not for life to be different, but for me to use that as an opening, as a door to go deeper, to be more connected with consciousness, to be present in this moment, to express gratitude for it, and to grow. What are your thoughts, Rick, about this idea of how working on yourself opens a door or creates space for beautiful opportunities and experiences?
Well, first, I want to acknowledge you for not only that realization, but for living your life according to those principles that you've chosen for yourself. And everyone who's around you at Mayo's and in your personal life at ToBeRe is a beneficiary of that path that you're on. And sometimes we overlook that our consciousness is so devoted to our own problems and trying to figure out who's wrong and caused our problems that we are unable to get outside of our heads and see that the real issue is how we react and how we behave and what we believe. I saw a presentation once that I thought was very powerful a long time ago when I started down my path. And the guy who was presenting was a monk, a Buddhist monk, and he was saying that when you think about what obstacles are, let's take something simple. You get the mail today, and in the mail there's your credit card bill, and you're angry at the credit card bill. Why do I have to pay all of this money? And then and when you start to think about it, you forget that the reason you owe that much on the credit card bill is because you had an extravagant spending spree. And so it's not the credit card company. It's not the credit card company. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
And so literally what this guy was saying was that if you look at every obstacle, just in one day, let's just say tomorrow, you decide to start down a path where you're not going to be reactive, that you're going to seek inner peace, that you're going to be mindful and not judge and be present in the moment and authentic. If you want to get those things, just spend one day monitoring how much you blame other people. And every time you do that, say, that's really my fault. Every time you do that, just think in your head, am I causing this issue? Whether it's traffic, whether it's a remark that someone made, that you start to feel hate for that person because you think they're directing it at you unfairly. Whatever it is, just spend one day looking at how much you blame another person. And then on the alternative thought has to be just this practice, just for this one day, I caused that. And when you start thinking and taking responsibility for all of those reactions that you have, you can decide at some point that's not serving you anymore. It's not serving yourself. How does it help you? And it certainly doesn't help anybody else. So the reality is, if you can get past the idea of blaming and get past the idea that everything is an obstacle, but that you are the cause of your own life, and that you are the cause of many of the things you're complaining about, if not all of them, you can make a choice. Does complaining help me any? Does it get me where I want to go? Does it help me be the kind of person I want to be? And your choice, you can still continue to do it. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay. Most people do.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Rick, you don't have to change and have inner peace on our account.
No.
Keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. What you're doing. That's your life, brother. Okay. That's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it. Rick, thank you so much, man. Just, for you and I, man, this goodness that we have in our lives, it is, something that we don't take for granted. We understand that we have to work for it every single day, and that we wouldn't be experiencing it had we made a different choice, which would have been not working on ourselves. You get, like you said, are you the cause of it? You get into that traffic and it's bothering you. That's an opportunity to let go of you. And in terms of you being the cause of it, one thing I've noticed is that I'm only bothered by the traffic when I left late to get somewhere, or I'm attached to getting somewhere faster. But when I leave with plenty of time, Traffic never bothers me. So I'm the one who had a role in creating the suffering that's occurring, needing it to be a certain way. No, man, no, it doesn't have to be that way. So just that one example can be, a lifeboat, to you seeing all of life like that, of
That's
how
right.
much you are impacting your experience. I get to the pickleball court and I get matched up with a partner who I think is not playing well. The partner's just doing their thing. I'm the one who is fretting about it and thinking I should have a different partner. Or I get to the court and I don't get a shady court. All of a sudden, the people that got there first, I want them off their court, off the shady court, so I can have it. No, I'm doing that. No, you make peace with with the sunny court. You make peace with the sunny court. You're doing that, and just being just so aware, man, about you know your we rave about having agency and being like self-made, or we can do anything. Well, do that. Create your own inner peace, do that. But no, we ignore agency. It's always someone else's fault, or life is responsible for this thing, this hand that I've been dealt. But over here, you talk about agency. No, it's just really interesting, Rick. And so I just think about, by applying that idea of agency toward these growth opportunities, what it's meant for me has been being on the receiving end of a lot of goodness, a lot of generosity and kindness from a lot of people. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep in mind, I think the thing that's important that I had to learn the hard way is that again, we're causing our own suffering when we're expecting other things to work out in a certain way. And I had the attitude for years, if only you, or if only it would do what I wanted it to do, then I wouldn't have to be this way. I wouldn't have to be an alcoholic, or I wouldn't have to be a raving maniac in traffic. But it was them that was causing me to behave in a certain way. Total crap. That's just nonsense. That's just crazy. And I don't know, I don't know where I would have been if I hadn't realized that that was a non-productive and a way to ensure an eternal suffering for the rest of my life, if I had continued down that path. Our own expectations are what get in the way. We have to have it a certain way. When you get to the point, and I'm not there, but by God, I want to be, where you don't mind much what happens. You just accept whatever and you can deal with it. However it shows up, totally fine. Because my inner gyroscope, keeping me free and peaceful, is never going to waver. That's where I want to be. I get little glimpses of it, but it's not a steady stream yet. I'm not streaming that yet.
Yeah.
But at least I know where I want to go with it. But I realize the main point is suffering comes from my expectations of me wanting people or things to be a certain way. Got to get rid of that.
Absolutely. Rick, thank you. I love you, Rick.
I love you, Keith. We'll see you next time.
I'll see you next time. Thank you.